Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you're all doing well. It's Thursday, we play on Monday, so we still have a few days to go. As the last time we closed Serie A with the Monday night evening, but in the meanwhile we have Mercato, a crazy Mercato, I can guarantee you. We are at 20 seconds, which means 8 days to go. The tick is clocking, my friends, and the next few days will be totally crazy. Look at the page of Sport, Spanish paper. Chiesa más cerca. Chiesa is closer to where? To Barcelona, in Catalonia, in Spain. Pay attention, we'll come back on that news towards the end of the video, because before that, maxi update about entry, exit, and then also we launch a new name. Well, new name. That is a bit an old name, because it's not the first one that we are linking him with you. So maximum of like if you didn't yet, please continue to subscribe to the channel, continue to support. This morning we were missing 4 Juventini to reach 32,900, and then you know that we go logically, I hope so, towards the next step. 33,000 Juventini. Can we do it before Verona Juve? Well, it would be nice. I would appreciate it, but I'm already grateful for everything that you do for the channel, so thank you. Now that the basics has been done, and don't forget to comment your opinion on today's video, we start with the training session this morning. It was a special one. Why? Because it was open to journalists and selected fans from Juventus Football Club in La Continassa. 2 hours of training session that ended with Thiago Motta saying thank you and goodbye to all the people. We know that Thiago is a really secret man. He doesn't want to show too much. He doesn't want to reveal too much. Or probably we saw athletic part, we saw physical condition, we saw some passes, maybe a mini game in the morning. But the tactical part will probably, to prepare the game against Verona, will probably be done in the afternoon with a second training session that is not open for the public. The news? The first training session of Pierre Kalulu, Pierrot pour les amis, Pierrot, nickname revealed by himself yesterday on TikTok and on Instagram of Juventus Football Club, but also a really big one. Actually giving us an assist to open the Mercato session. Well, there was no Arkadiusz Milik. And it's a strange news, I can tell you, because we were all expecting to start him seeing training already last week, maybe already being called up to be the vice Vlahovic in Juve Como in case of need. He didn't train, he was not, of course, logically, he was not called up, while this week we were all told that he would resume immediately training with his mates. He was not there. He was not there then. Maybe he can train this afternoon. Maybe he can train tomorrow and make it on time to be on the bench against Verona. But otherwise we start having a problem, because at the moment we don't have the timing when he will be back. Or is it maybe something else why he was not here today? Big question mark. And that's where we open the transfer market session, because there is an old name that is again a new name. Interest from Juventus on again Arno Kalimuendo, striker of Rennes, Stade Rennais, for some people, depend how you want to call it, in France, in Ligue 1. Kalimuendo, that is a young player born in 2002, a player already coached by Thiago Motta when he was at the youth sector of Paris Saint-Germain. We already spoke a few times about Arno here on the channel. The first time that we spoke about him was on the 3rd of July, when we had that live, that beautiful live, together with my friend Luca Momblano, that told us that Juventus could have been interested in a vice Vlahovic that could be or Kalimuendo or Maximilian Bayer. We know that Bayer went to Dortmund, that it was not that much a name of Thiago Motta, because Thiago Motta's crush is and was and still is Kalimuendo, a player that wants to leave Rennes. He wants to leave, he wants another journey. It's not a done deal yet. There are a lot of clubs on him. Leicester, Southampton. He already refused Stuttgart, Nottingham, Bournemouth. He would love to wait for Juve, to go back to his guru, to Thiago Motta. That's something that he's dreaming about, and he will wait. Wait until the last days of Mercato. Then will Juventus be able to close the deal or not? We are far from, and there is a value of 20 million euro as revealed by L'Equipe this morning, but L'Equipe is really affirming Juventus is again on them. What is one of the reasons or the obligations to first make sure that it happened before going for Kalimuendo? Well, it's Milik leaving Juventus. Will it happen or not? Well, him not being 100% fit could push Juventus to try to go for another option to buy loan. And having 3 strikers And then, of course, if Milik goes back, the minutes will be divided between two. If Milik is not there today, but is already recuperated, but maybe already found an agreement with another team or is in talks with other teams, but we are not speaking about it too much, could be that Milik leaves and that we go all in for Arno Kalimuendo, that I tell you is a player that I really, really, really appreciate. Young player that could be really a fantastic Dusan Vlahovic vice player. That's important, really. Young, fresh legs, and then another Frenchman, and you know it, the story of Juve with France is really great, between Zidane, Henry, Trezeguet, and this Juve looks more French and French, with Thuram, with Kalimuendo, Thuram, Kalulu, etc., etc. It's not bad, I like French Juventus. Anyway, yesterday, Kalulu signed his contract with Juventus Football Club. Next to him, Giuseppe Pompilio, not Cristiano Giuntoli. Cristiano Giuntoli probably is trying to cook somewhere. He's trying to finalize some deals like Nico Gonzalez, like Koopmeiners, or maybe even Kalimuendo, who knows. He has chosen for the number 15 yesterday, and then he spoke also. He did, the tour that I already anticipated to yesterday, Continassa, J Hotel, and then also to the Creator Lab where he spoke in front of camera saying, I have been really convinced by Thiago Motta, which I spoke to on the phone a few times. And then also, but that's the secret, he spoke with Thuram to remind some people, or maybe to tell some people that do not know. Both of them, they know each other really well because they played a lot of games together in the Youth Nationale, the Youth L'équipe nationale de France, where we saw on the Telegram group, I shared it yesterday, a fantastic, beautiful assist from Kalulu from the right side. Boom. Header of Kefren Thuram. That was a fantastic, beautiful goal. Well, these two persons convinced him. Then I know that he was convinced, but that he didn't yet convince you entirely. I see the post of the people. I saw yesterday the post where he was dancing, not with a huge big smile, but guys, if you need to do a dance like that, would you smile? That's the big question. I saw also some reaction where he went out of the car to go to the medical test, where he has a facial expression that is not that much a smiling, it's not that much an extrovert, it's more an introvert, not really showing his emotion, or at least that's what it is. Then if you're looking at the 7 minutes of day one Kalulu on YouTube, you see that he's really honored, that he's really happy. At a certain moment, it's in French, has not been translated, I believe. He's there in that kind of locker room, virtual locker room, where he's trying that shirt, that home shirt, saying, wow, laisse tomber, saying, it's too much, fantastic shirt, it's really beautiful. So you see that he's also really honored to be there. But of course, if then on Instagram he's doing strange things like player of Juventus on loan from AC Milan, 10 minutes later, player of Juventus on loan, and then 10 minutes later he's going with just player of Juventus, as he should have started with, well, he's not helping, of course. It is not helping. Guys, I tell you, I understand that. He's a player that at the moment, yes, has been convinced by Thiago Motta, yes, has been convinced by Thuram, yes, is convinced of Juventus Football Club, but he's not 100% sure to stay at Juve. And he knows that if Juventus has another big target in mind for next season and they don't go for him, like for example for Jallo, what we did, we signed him and he's already out. Well, he could potentially go back to Milan. I can understand human-wise that... Now, on the other side, I'm expecting every single player that even on loan, 1 year, they commit 100% to the cause and they are showing it. Now, Kalulu, controversial entry to Juve from a certain point of view. On the other side, it's the field that we speak. And I can't wait to see him on the field because from the player perspective, I'm not speaking about injury, etc., etc. From a player perspective, I'm waiting a lot from him. I can tell you that I can't wait to see him on the field and that he will bring something to Juventus Football Club. Something that we anticipated before hearing the name of Kalulu is we lack of speed in the defense. We really lack of speed of the defense. We see a Bremer, we see a Danilo, we see a Gatti. Not all of them are the fastest one in the world and can be dangerous when we are playing quite high for counterattacks. Yesterday, Juventus on Twitter, they presented him with "C'est la rapidité qui fait la différence." What does that mean? It's the speed that is making the difference. Grace of speed. Ragazzi, there is a reason why Kalulu is at Juventus. Speed, versatility, right back, center back, can also play as a left center back, so attenzione. But it's not over because we have other names to speak about, like Nico a tutti costi. Nico Gonzalez at all costs. That's already something that I don't agree with at a certain moment. there is a limit at all cost for Nico Gonzalez. There is a limit. It can't be that from 30 million you go towards a request of 40 million. I understand Commisso that he's playing with it. He's saying they need a player because he's not stupid. He sees that we have only 3 players there. Bangula, that is a next-gen player, Kenan Yildiz, and then Wea. With Wea injured as well, we have a huge big problem because you need to play with Cambiaso and then you lack in the back and it's a total disaster. So he knows that we are in a rush at 8 days of the end of the Mercato. He knows that Nico Gonzalez wants to leave. He's trying with Atalanta. He's trying with Juve. So I understand from his point of view. What I don't understand is our point of view. No, ragazzi, we need to be fast. We need to be close. And if we can't, ciao Nico Gonzalez. A player that I really want and I think that he will come to Juve, but there is a cost on everything. There is a limit on everything. So I don't really agree. What is Juventus trying to do? Oh, there is a cost on everything. We don't want to go towards 40 million euro. Forget about it. 32 plus 3. 34 plus 3 we can discuss. But let's not exaggerate. And what if we open talks for an Arthur that you loved? What if we open talks for a Kostic that is out of project for us and that Paladino really appreciate? And that's where I believe the key will be. The key to unlock Nico Gonzalez to Juve, hopefully already today, this night, or maybe tomorrow. Otherwise, I start to have big doubts about Nico Gonzalez to Juve. But apparently Fiorentina is quite open. They had positive talks about Kostic to Juve, and that's the thing. How can you have super positive talks, being happy, etc. for Juve, Kostic, Fiorentina, while being so negative and saying no about Nico Gonzalez? There's something that is strange. I believe 100% that Nico Gonzalez is already a done deal. Then you will tell me, Beppe, basta, we are Juventus. Give them that money. Put on the table 2-3 million euro. Who cares? They want 40, give them because we can't anymore with that Mercato. We are stressed. We want to give that certificate like Koopmeiners of the doctor. We don't want to watch anymore. We want to take off. It's too much. Yeah, ragazzi, I tell you something that I never hide here on the channel. We have no money. You don't believe me? Look at the contract of Pierre Kalulu. Yesterday, if you read, if you understand what is written, it's written temporary acquisition, so a loan, not an option. It's an option. It's not an obligation, so an option for a loan. First, 3.3 million that you pay for that loan, and 3.3 million Juventus is doing it in 2 years. So we take 2 financial years to pay 3.3 million. That means 1.5, 1.7, 1.8 million per year for the loan. We pay it in 2 years. So Juventus is not able today, or they are trying to save here and there, to not spend 3 million euro. That already tells you a lot. Then, if we want to buy the player, 14 million on top of the 3 million that would already be nearly paid, payable in 3 financial years. So also there are 14 million that 555. On top of that, you have a bonus of 3 million that can be reached, and these 3 million would be paid over the entire contract of Kalulu. So if he signs after that year until 2029, that's a player that will have a bonus if reached of 3 million euro that you can divide over 5 years, a total or 4 years probably, total disaster. You see, we are speaking about a player that if you, let's say everything is going 100% well, etc., you pay him for 20 million euro. 14 plus 3 for the loan, plus 3 for the possible bonus, 20. And these 20, you are splitting it in year. If you were financially stable, you would go there, 20 million. Option to buy because we are not sure about the injury, but we believe in the player. Boom, you hear your 3 million, and the 17 or 14 plus 3 will come next year when we sign him officially. We have no money, guys. We have no money. So what are we counting on? The will of the players. The will of the players to really come to Juve. And also that big money, it's not that we don't have it. We have it. But it's for one player only, where we will pay boom. Teun Koopmeiners. That Teun Koopmeiners, yesterday they were telling us, Koopmeiners and Lookman are not at the training center, or they will not be at the training center of Atalanta today. But actually, Lookman was there. Teun Koopmeiners was not there. Information by Dario Pellegrini, that is a Juventino, that I know, He's also taking care of Atalanta as a journalist. Well, Dario Pellegrini is telling us, Lookman is there. Was there this morning, not Koopmeiners. What does that mean? That in a way, with talks, with negotiation, with blah, 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 they could, again, take back a Lookman. That doesn't mean that he will not be sold, but at least to have him probably also playing the next game, etc., etc. While for Koopmeiners, he is insisting, I don't want to go back because I want to go with one team only. It is Juventus Football Club. You promised it to me, so please make sure that you keep your promise because I have already everything done. I want to be there. I want already to sit on the bench against Verona. If not, I want to be there for Juve Roma. Speed up. Now, Atalanta at the moment is an ego affair because 58, 59, 60, whatever. Juventus did all what they needed to do. It's an ego affair that they feel a bit hurt because they say we wanted to keep our player. We believed and we want to believe that we can compete for the very first time for the Scudetto, keeping our player, and they want to leave. They want to leave, to go to Juve, to go to Paris Saint-Germain. We are a big club. Why do they want to leave? This is the problem of Atalanta. Ego. But maybe they will regret it one day. Look at Torino president Cairo, that today said Bellanova wanted to go, and I let him go. Where? To Atalanta. Why? Because, of course, the Torino fans are extremely pissed off, especially because it's happening now on the 22nd of August, because of one reason. He said in the past, there were some players, like, for example, Belotti, that wanted to leave, and I opposed myself. I said, no, I refused. 100 million euro. This is something I will never ever do. Because the players, when they are that convinced to leave and you keep them at all cost, forget about it. And he regrets it because at the end Belotti left or played a disaster season from that moment on, and then he left for free a few years after. Total disaster. Maybe Atalanta will regret it one day. Who knows? Federico Chiesa, más cerca. Siempre más cerca. It's true, guys. Barcelona is on him. A plan, or can we call it A plan? Expensive plan, Leao, but it's quite difficult and will probably not happen. Chiesa, cheap plan. I don't want to say B plan, but cheap plan. A player that is really appreciated by Hansi Flick because he already wanted him after Euro 2021 at Bayern, where Juve pushed away the offers from Bayern, and he's again on him. A player that could possibly play instead of Ferran Torres, a player that is strong, is great, is a player with a lot of talents. But unfortunately, it's not anymore in the plans of Juve for XYZ. That's the reason that we already explained so many times. So Barcelona is there. The only thing is that they really don't want to spend too much. 10 million euros for two reasons. First of all, because they also have the doubts about injury. The doubts, will he adapt to another football? Also the perception. It gives us a lot of perceptions from the outside world about what is the real value of player. 10 million is not the value of Federico Chiesa. We know that. But on the other side, they also know that Juventus, at 8 days of the end of Mercato, are obliged to sell. Juventus, they want 15 to at least not do a minus valenza, because we all know the word plus valenza, but there is also the opposite, minus valenza. So pay attention, but today we could possibly come with a second video with a huge acceleration for Chiesa to Barcelona. Chiesa to Barcelona. Paulo Dybala, possibly to Saudi Arabia. Not that we care too much, but guys, Paulo Dybala. Nearly pushed out of the door by Roma after welcoming him like the king of Roma. Do you remember on these stairs? Roma that was chanting for him. Wow. I was expecting it. What I was not expecting in that last the news of the day is Weston McKennie that could possibly renew one more year with you at 2.8 million salary. I believe it's a really slightly like a tip in USA. Like a tip. What do you choose? The smallest one. But Weston McKennie one more year with Juve. Let's see. I'm really curious. The images that we saw today in training session is much more informed than he was when he was with the USA this summer. Grazie ragazzi. You were fantastic again to listen to me. Grazie, forza. Juve.